The story begins when our main protagonist, called Rikka, who was training with her grandfather. They're playing a game like hide and seek, with Grandpa as the hunter. Rikka lets off a firebomb and Grandpa pretends to be hurt, tricking her and winning the game. He's training her because she is expected to take his place as the head of their ninja clan. However, Rikka says that she wants to be like her father. Grandpa insists that she is meant to take his place at the head of the clan. However, Rikka says no one runs away, telling him that he can't decide for her. Rikka then goes to see her father, who is a genius researcher and scientist. He shows Rikka his new genius invention, which is called animal drones. They're able to think for themselves, so they are not servants, but more like friends that will assist you. They are designed to always make the right decisions so that they cannot be used for evil in case they are abused by bad people. They also help humans to make better decisions, and Rikka quickly becomes obsessed with them. She tells her father that she wants to be just like him, but he explains that it's important for her to try and find her own path in life. He then picks up a photograph and Rikka asks who the other guys are in the picture, to which he explains that they are his former colleagues and friends from a long time ago. The days pass, and one of the guys who we saw in the picture, called Brad, who approaches Rikka's father, proposing that he should join him in his endeavors, as he wants to use his inventions and research his weapons to gain power. However, Rikka's father essentially tells him no, because he is not that type of person and his research and inventions are not to be used in lust for power. Brad mocks him for being so unambitious and makes an evil smile, which we all know cannot mean anything good. A few days went by and Rikka was on her way home, very excited because her father and grandfather had prepared a birthday present for her. But when she arrived home, she found blood everywhere. She then rushes to her father's laboratory and finds him badly wounded. Right away, a gang of guys with weapons appears, which prompts the question from Rikka, "Did you hurt my dad?" They say, yes, and thank her for opening the door for them. But just when they're about to shoot, a smoke bomb goes off and the grandfather appears, swiftly taking some of the men out like a boss. However, the other man from the picture we saw earlier, called Lauren, also appears. We discover that he was always envious of Rikka's father because his creations were recognized and respected while his were not. Lauren also reveals that he is using his own daughter as an experiment by creating some technology that modifies brain waves, granting powers to his daughter. But the problem is that while using it, she loses consciousness, and it also hurts a lot. Lauren uses her to help the armed men kill Rikka's grandpa and eventually her father too. But just as they're about to kill Rikka, one of her dad's animal drones saves her. While flying away, she recognizes Brad from the photo. The animal drone takes her to a statue, where there is a secret passageway with a mini laboratory her father built. Inside, there are masks that her grandfather used and other things that can be useful to her. So she decides to sacrifice her whole life to get her epic revenge and recover the stolen data from her father's endeavors. For the next 6 months, Rikka spends her time training and doing spy work for a detective office. She spends time with her AI companions and jumps over rooftops, looking for her targets. She combined her father's technology with her grandfather's ninja training, so now she is truly ready for anything. She has clothes that can turn all black and wears a mask like her grandfather. She tests her grapple technology and manages to save a cat and return it to a rich lady. Rikka is also going under a new name, Lily, so that her enemies can't track her identity. We discover that she now lives in a small apartment with her roommate called Melissa. In her spare time, she works as a detective trainee for Harold Berkeley, and with her animal drones, she finds more information about various cases as well as possible leads about the people who murdered her family. She has managed to find direct links to various crimes with the Grad Chime Company. After a long day of working on her investigations, Rikka finally returns back home to her small apartment. Most of her days are spent on missions, so it's nice to return home and spend some time relaxing. When she arrives at her apartment, she is met by Lily, who is making dinner for them. Lily is very grateful that Rikka pays for their rent, so she wants to help out in any way possible. After dinner, Lily goes to sleep and Rikka watches over her. After she goes to her room and starts to work on her suit, Rikka constantly improves the optical illusion technology on the suit as it needs to perform perfectly. Her AI companions are always by her side as she prepares her equipment. Elsewhere in the murky streets of the city, a scared man is running with a briefcase. He is anxious and worried that someone is following him. On the rooftops, a mysterious figure tracks this man. Out of nowhere, a grapple comes flying down and takes the man up onto the roof. Rikka emerges from the shadows and interrogates the man about his business dealings, specifically about the criminal activity of the Grad Chime Company. He doesn't want to divulge any information, but then Rikka threatens to throw him from the roof. She wants to know who stole her dad's data on the animal drones and presses him to tell her where it is. She eventually scares the man into giving out the information and lets him fall to his death. The following day, Rikka visits the Grad Chime Company and takes some pictures of the building. Several security guards confront her, but she tells them that she works for a private inspector and this is just a routine check. However, the security officers are having none of it and they begin trying to detain Rikka. She tries to fight them off with her blade, but her companion stops her as if it would draw too much attention. On a nearby bench, a girl with short white hair and glasses watches the situation unfold. She finally comes to the fence and tells the security guards that she invited Rikka here and that they can let her go. She appears to be of higher status as the security guards comply and Rikka is set free. Rikka expresses her gratitude to this girl and the girl introduces herself as Mia. It turns out that she is the daughter of Lauren, whom he conducted his experiments on and used her to help kill Rikka's father, but Rikka doesn't know, so she asks Mia to play chess. Mia is curious if Rikka is actually a detective and offers Rikka a job. Rikka then admits that she is only an assistant, so she wouldn't be much help. The two girls spend hours just playing chess and getting to know each other. While Mia is very quiet, she seems comfortable spending time with Rikka. The two girls connect with each other as both of them had their dads teach them how to play chess. Mia tells Rikka that her father was the one who taught her how to play chess, but it was a very long time ago. The match ends as Mia wins and Rikka is surprised as she rarely loses a game of chess. The girls spend another few hours playing chess and Mia laughs for the first time. Rikka promises that she will train and get better, so the next time they play chess, she will beat her. Suddenly, Mia grows cold and tells her that she should not come back here as it is dangerous. Mia thanks Rikka as this is the most fun she has had in a long time and Mia returns back inside the mysterious research facility. Mia doesn't want to be an experiment anymore, but her father manipulates and forces her to. Mia tells her father that when the collar is on her, she doesn't feel in control and she is scared. Lauren ignores his daughter's fears and just tells her that she must do this to help with his research. Lauren's only goal is to prove to Brad that he is better than Rikka's father and he is a genius. Lauren tells her that he just needs a little more data and because of her potential, she must comply. He then proceeds to put a giant helmet on Mia's head and begins his experiments, causing Mia a lot of pain. But Lauren just ignores it like it's nothing. Meanwhile, it seems that Rikka has decided to infiltrate the research facility. She finds all of the research that they stole from her father. Rikka activates her ninja suit and puts on her mask. She jumps over the facility fence along with her AI helpers, so she is confident in accomplishing her mission. She manages to infiltrate the compound where she sneaks past the security and ends up in a giant room where there are major projects that are being developed. She sees a giant robotic dog with many weapons on it. Rikka concludes that they have been using her father's research to create world-destructive weapons, with the motive most likely being for power or money. Rikka has a plan to place explosions in the facility and blow it up. But out of nowhere, she is attacked by a masked Mia, who is now brainwashed under Lauren's control. Any attack that Rikka throws at Mia is countered with her telekinetic powers and force. While fighting, Rikka's mask falls off and Mia immediately stops her attack as she notices who it is. Just then, her father comes in and Rikka becomes enraged, charging at him with a katana. She deploys a smoke bomb and goes invisible, but at the last second, Mia uses her powers to push Rikka back. Rikka then switches targets to Mia, but just when she's about to kill her, she recognizes her. However, she thinks about her father and grandpa, so she attempts to go through with it anyway. But at the last second, the animal drone stops her as it doesn't want Rikka to become a murderer. Lauren then starts electrocuting Mia using a device connected to the collar around her neck, making her feel immense pain until she ends up losing control and destroying the entire facility, allowing Rikka and her friends to find an escape route. Rikka barely managed to get out and even carried Mia out of the blasts. They are then hiding in the sewer and Rikka is still tempted to kill Mia. She contrives putting her sword to her throat while she is resting. But her drones try to convince her to stop her once again, telling her that even though they killed her father, no one can kill what he taught her, which was to forgive. Rikka then remembers the time her father talked with her when she mistreated one of the drones. He explained that the animal drones are just like humans, and they have their own thoughts and goals. Rikka then stops herself from killing Mia and decides to take her back to her apartment. Elsewhere, Lauren has managed to escape the blast too and is carrying a laptop with him. He seems to have totally lost his mind and wants to find his daughter. Rikka brings Mia back to her apartment where she is letting her rest. Melissa is also there and tends to Mia's wounds. Rikka apologizes for worrying Melissa and bringing this person into their apartment. However, Melissa totally understands that Rikka gets into trouble because she is a detective. Rikka then goes to her assistant detective job and asks Melissa to take care of Mia until she recovers. Rikka sits on the steps and she cries once more. One of her animal drones is by her side and tells her that he will protect Melissa, then he will eventually find Lauren. Rikka expresses shame as she was unable to kill Mia, so she probably won't be able to kill Lauren. Rikka thinks that her grandfather would be ashamed of her. The drone tells her that Mia was not in control of her actions and she should have been saved, not killed, so Rikka did the right thing. Meanwhile, Mia has strange dreams of her childhood. She was a small child and played some sort of game with her father in the past. Mia complained that nobody believed she had powers. Her father then picks her up and promises to spend his life proving just how special she is, revealing that he was actually a kind and loving father at one point in time. However, Lauren then started to experiment on Mia, but convinced her that he was doing all of this because he loves her. Maya then wakes up and Melissa is by her side. She introduces herself to Mia, and it is then that Maya realizes that Rikka told her a fake name. When Melissa touches Maya's hands, she notices how cold Melissa is. Mia finally gets up out of bed and sees vegetables all around the kitchen. Melissa tries to cook for Mia, but hurts herself in the process. Mia tends to her hand and they prepare the dinner table. Rikka returns home and she sees that Mia has started to recover. Rikka still resents her and is especially rude. Melissa serves up dinner and watches closely while Mia eats. Mia is shocked at how tasty the food really is. Later in the night, Mia goes on the roof to get some fresh air where she is met by Rikka, who is still upset about what happened to her family. Mia tries to show some gratitude, but Rikka doesn't want to hear it. After a while, Mia decides to leave, but Rikka asks if there was a case Mia really needed help with. Mia then reveals that she just wanted someone to stop her father. However, she still can't help but have a love for him and hope for him to change. Mia calls her father to tell him they should turn themselves into the police. He pretends to agree with her so that she tells him where she is, and Mia falls for his lies once again. It only matters to Lauren that his research stays unknown and makes it clear with his despicable actions that he doesn't care about his daughter as long as he can use her to benefit his work. After a while, one of the robots that were created with the data of Rikka's father appears. Rikka manages to evade it and evacuate the residence. Meanwhile, Mia is devastated that her father betrayed her once again. The robot stops moving, so Rikka attends to Mia to comfort her. She tells her to get it together as she needs her help. The machine begins moving again, so Rikka decides to take it away from civilization, where civilians won't get hurt, and Mia teams up with her. The two of them fly to Rikka's old home, where they both fight the killing machine together and end up destroying it. A few moments later, there is a huge explosion out of nowhere, and we come to find out that Mia's father decided to modify his brain waves, so now he also has powers. Lauren tells Mia to stand aside so he can finish off Rikka. Mia asks if he ever cared about her, to which he responds that he dies and that she is his only successful test result. Mia realizes he is too far gone, and they start to battle it out. Meanwhile, Rikka discovers the present that her father and her grandfather had prepared for her, and it turns out to be an epic suit. She puts it on and goes to help Mia, who is having a hard time dealing with her father. Rikka saves her just in time and embraces herself as the 27th head of the ninja clan. She used to think that she had to pick between her father's and grandpa's paths, but now she realizes she can honor both, which gives her an enormous amount of confidence and strength. Lauren loses his mind about the fact that somehow Rikka's family always outsmarts him and they both battle it out one last time. Rikka ends up beating him up, and just when it looks like she's about to finish him off, he begs for Mia's forgiveness and says he's sorry for everything, which makes her come close to him as she believed he was being sincere. However, it turned out to be another one of his tricks as he puts the collar around Mia's neck and orders her to destroy Rikka and her family's existence. Rikka does everything she can to save Mia, and after an awesome display of action, she is successful. Days later, Brad, who was the other guy who betrayed Rick's father, begins to speak in front of all the citizens and reveals that his company is going to cover all damages to the people of the city. And now that he is mayor, he will reform the city and make it a better place. But we all know that won't happen, as he's a self-serving maniac. We then see Rikka, Mia, and Melissa standing in a building opposite where Brad is staying. They jump off the roof with style, implying that they are going to end it once and for all. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on another video. Until next time, take care.